Hi guys, it's your girl Intuitively D, and I'm here with a Mars and Leo transit video for all of the signs. Mars will be in Leo, transiting the constellation of Leo from May 20th to July 10th. So as I'm recording, it's May 23rd already, so it's already been there, and you probably felt it because as soon as it entered Leo, it hit Pluto and Aquarius, you know, it opposed it. And then it's hitting the nodes of fate, the North Node in Taurus and the South Node in Scorpio. So while like I love Mars and Leo energy because I think it's going to give us this like va 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 boom, we're not quite there yet. We're still really trying to brush off all of this like very irritable, aggressive energy for about a week and a half or so. So if you're still feeling very like, please don't start your shit with me, know that this is very normal right now. Instead of the like, ooh, I want to look good, feel good, go out, show out, because we might not actually be there yet because of the aspects that are going on. So, Mars and Leo Mars loves being in Leo, right? Mars is the ruler of Aries, the cardinal fire sign. So now it's in fixed fire. So it can do very well there. It's going to be this surge of fiery, passionate, confident energy. If you're a Mars and Leo, welcome to your Mars return. It takes 2 years to come back to a sign. So the last time we had this was 2 years ago. I'm a Mars and Leo. So I think it's going to be super fun. And if you didn't know, sorry, I'm just going to be drinking because I don't know. My bad. If you didn't know, Mars and Leo is known as one of like the sexiest placements and like sexiest, I actually mean sexual. Placements in a natal chart. So if you have that in your natal chart, things are just going to get super steamy for you. All right. This transit is going to ignite our passions, our creativity, our self-expression. It's really going to want you to do things that you are passionate about, less robotic, I have to do this, I guess I'll do this kind of energy, and more like, oh, I really love this, let me dabble in this. Oh, I really feel like I want to do this, let me try this. That's the kind of energy you're going to be feeling during this time. Let's see. I have notes, I always have notes, I'll stray. Let's see. Mars in Leo is going to encourage bold actions. It's going to encourage assertiveness and strong desires for recognition. However, Leos get such a bad rap, right? People think they always want to be the center of stage, which, sometimes they do, a lot of times they do, but they also are very headstrong, and they also lead with their heart. Sorry, guys. So just be mindful of this energy of you wanting to put yourself out there, that it can be taken in a way that seems very aggressive, very assertive. Not to say that you should dim your light for anyone, because you should absolutely not. But you also should not go out your way to make people feel like shit, okay? This period is going to offer you opportunities for leadership, to be more courageous, and just pursue your personal ambitions. Let's see. And then a reminder that Mars is going to meet his lover Venus in Leo around June 20th, because Venus is going to also enter Leo June 5th. And so, like, if you're a Leo rising, like me, I feel like this is going to be like such a fun summer for you. And do as much as you can, as much as you want to do, that you love to do, before Venus goes retrograde in September. Okay, so stay tuned if you want to hear how this might look for your rising sign. Hi, Aries rising. It's your girl Intuitively D, and here is your Mars in Leo transit. This is happening in your 5th house, and this transit is just really going to energize your self-expression, your creativity, your dating, your romance life. You're going to feel confident to ask that person out on that date, or, plan some dates, or start that new creative venture that you've been thinking about starting and not really caring what other people are saying. You're just gonna want to just do it. It's a great time to engage in playfulness. Have a good time with your children because the fifth house also rules children. There is going to be this square to Uranus, right? Where Uranus is in Taurus. And so Uranus has been in your second house, really revamping, redoing things so you are more stable financially. And so when this square happens later in June, it's going to remind you to balance your impulsiveness when it comes to your finances and just be really stable. So like, say you buy all these things for this hobby because you've been super passionate about it. Like, just make sure you have the money to do that because you don't want to like then run out of money. You're not going to run out of money, or maybe you will run out of money, but like you don't want to go over budget. So I guess that would be like the best way to describe that. So just, make sure that your finances are all in a row when you're out there living your best life during Mars and Leo. Let's pull a card for you. Nine of Cups in reverse. So like, when the Nine of Cups is in upright, it means you're having your wishes fulfilled, your financial wishes, your emotional wishes, all fulfilled. And I just feel like you've probably been going through it. Aries rising, like it's just been wild for you. And so this is going to be a time, if you want to flip this card around, it's not that your wishes will not be fulfilled. It's that you are really, maybe your wishes weren't, maybe you need to realign yourself to what you really want and really go after your passions and not necessarily what everybody has been telling you to do. And when you do that, then that's when there's like wish fulfillment, right? It could have been like for the last 9 weeks you have been struggling, for the last 9 months, 9 years or something like that. And you're just like, when is my dating life? When am I going to be able to go after my passions? Like, when is all this stuff happening? So I would just say like slow and steady wins the race. But since this is in a sister fire sign, Mars and Leo's in a sister fire sign, it's really about like going after things super passionately to bring in wish fulfillment. I hope this is helpful. Hi Taurus Risings, it's your girl Intuitively D, and this is your Mars and Leo video. This is my third time trying to record your video specifically, and so let's just see how it goes. We're still in the post shadow or the shadow phase of Mercury retrograde in Taurus, so who knows what's going to go on here. So Mars is now in Leo, and it's going to transit your 4th house of home and family. And so during this time, it's going to ignite your assertiveness and your motivation and your home and family matters. So this is intuitively to me, this is about like getting your house together. That can be like looking for the house, the apartment, the condo, the whatever you want to live in. This could be like getting people out of your house that you don't want there anymore. This could be bringing in people in your house, maybe new roommates, and making sure that the people that you live in are going to be fun, safe, and sane. This can also be maybe having conversations with your family members about how maybe you have not been seen or heard, and you are like, hey, y'all not listening to anything I have to say, and I live here, I pay part of the rent and the bills and all that stuff. So that could be a time where this happens. Yeah, that's that. So this is really just going to give you the oomph, the push that you need to be not passive aggressive, like sometimes Tauruses are, but aggressive. So use this to your advantage. Later in June, there's going to be a square to Uranus. So Mars and Leo is going to square Uranus in your 1st house. So really, this is really about like, what do you want to see in your home? What kind of relationship do you want to have with your family? And I get that people are probably going to be rubbing you the wrong way, but it's not a time to isolate yourself and not talk to them. It's about having these conversations so you can make sure everything is balanced where you live and who you are. People can put those things together, okay? Let's pull a card for you. Let's just take it. 10 of Wands. So what have you been holding on to? What has been driving you? What have you been overworking, overdoing, feeling super stressed out about when it comes to your house? How many applications have you put out for the new apartment, the new house? How many conversations have you had with the same family member about the same thing, or the same roommate about the same thing? You know, it's the 10. So 10 is like, okay, I'm kind of done with it, right? 10 is completion. And so maybe this is the time where you've tried to do things very like quietly and not ruffle any feathers. But now Mars and Leo is like, hey, I got all the time now. Let me tell you what's really on my mind. So, sorry, if you've been feeling that way, go ahead. I would say don't do it this week because we're all feeling slightly irritable and not great this week, but maybe a couple of weeks from now, maybe 10 days from now, go ahead and have that conversation about like, nah, this is not my burden. This is your cross to bear, okay? Hope this was helpful. Hi, Gemini rising. This is your girl, Intuitively D, and this is your Mars and Leo transit. This is going through your 3rd house. It is the house of communication, speaking, teaching, also short distance travel, and maybe community, neighbors, and things of that nature. Mars and Leo going through the 3rd house is really just going to up and va-va-va-voom your communication skills, your intellectual pursuits. You're just very energized. You want to speak the things, you want to learn the things, you want to kind of move around and maybe take a trip to go listen to your favorite speaker, your favorite teacher, or you might be invited to do a speaking engagement, right? Or doing a new blog post, just really maybe putting even yourself out there on social media. But I like this energy. It's fun, it's passionate, it's feisty, right? So I think this is gonna be a good time. What we have to also take into consideration that Mars and Leo is also going to be hitting some other things in the sky. And because I do this for like people that are just learning astrology and dabbling, I won't get into all of the aspects, but Mars went into Leo May 20th, and you might not be feeling this fun loving kind of like energy yet because it did its opposition to Pluto in Aquarius, which kind of was like, oh gosh. And then when we move in June and towards the later weeks in June, it's going to square Uranus in your 12th house. I know Uranus has been in your 12th house for a very long time. It's been digging that Mercury retrograde in Taurus through your 12th house was probably fucking exhausting, right? Just bringing up dirt that you thought you had gotten rid of, but it was just like, no, we need to just get it over with. So I would just say, be very cautious when this square happens later in June, that you're not making impulsive decisions when it comes to what you're posting on social media, what you're saying to the masses. Make sure you just kind of like fact check the things that you're going to be saying to people. Just make sure you do that. All right. Yeah, let's pull a card for you. Doesn't actually feel good. Okay, that feels better. I'm just gonna take it. There's 2. Oh, sorry. This is always so random. So you got 2 cards. You got the Queen of Swords and the 9 of Cups. If you don't speak your piece, how are your wishes gonna be fulfilled? Right? Like, Gemini, mutable air, we're in that season. We're in your season right now. The Queen of Swords is air energy. It's communication, and it's communicating effectively and confidently. And then the 9 of Cups is wishes fulfilled, right? So it's really about saying what you want to say, communicating effectively, whether this be teaching or you know, you have a blog or you have social media that you use as your tool, and then wishes will be filled. Wishes will be fulfilled. You can't have one without the other. If you can't speak things to it, you can. Wishes don't happen without movement, without speaking them into existence, right? There's like so many parts of manifestation and getting things done. We just think we need to just think it and then poof, magically things happen. You have to think it, you have to speak it, you have to put a plan in motion, and then things start blooming and blossoming and intentions start to manifest, right? So it's the same type of energy. It's like whatever you're speaking, whatever you're going to do this transit, do it confidently, do it wisely, so all the great things will happen. I hope this was helpful. Hi, Cancer Risings. It's your girl, Intuitively D, and this is your Mars in Leo transit happening from May 20th to July 10th. And, you know, boy, oh boy, let's get at it. So Mars is in Leo. It's going through your second house of self-confidence, financial security, earned income, self-esteem. And so with this going through that second house, this is a really good time to up the ante in your financial matters, whatever that looks like for you. So really getting out there, maybe if you want to look at investments or stocks, or I just like to say, because I'm not that type of person that's going to get financial advice at all, but like if you are thinking about asking for the raise at work or finding another job, and because it's more money, then this would be a good transit to do that. And yeah, you just are really going to take control of your income, whatever that looks like for you and your material possessions. There is going to be a square to Uranus in your 11th house later in June. And so that's just something that little transit, that little meetup is going to remind you to balance your assertiveness with stability. So you don't want to be overly aggressive, excuse me, with buying stocks or turning in your 401k. You don't want to be overly aggressive with that. You want to make sure, sorry, you're doing the best that you can. Also, because the square is happening in your 11th house of friendships, don't loan. I would not. I'm never a person that's going to be like loan money to people, but definitely when this time hits, it's not a good time to loan money to friends. Let's pull a card for you. You know, allergies are just so terrible. I have this crazy cough that is driving me bonkers. This just doesn't feel right. Sorry. Let's see. Cancer rising. 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, you know, in reverse. And so what's funny about 8 of Pentacles in reverse, 8 of Pentacles is like you've put in the time, you've put in the work. And this is not to say that you haven't put in the time, you haven't been putting in the work, but what I can say, because Mars is transiting through your second house, is you have been putting in all the time and all the work to make the money that you have. Please don't squander it. Please don't squander it. Please don't let this Mars in Leo get you feeling like money grows on trees, or, you know, I hate to be like a fear person, and I'm not at all, but, you know, sometimes we get like, oh, I have this much money. I'm really just, I need a break. I just need to buy whatever I want to buy. I just want to get it, go, do. And that's well and good, but don't go overboard. And Mars and Leo has the vibe of like, you can go overboard with it. So I would just say, be very mindful of how you are using your finances for this time. Alrighty. I hope this was helpful. Hi, Leo Risings. It's your girl, Intuitively D, and welcome to your Mars and Leo transit video. Hey, you're the star of this show. I am a Leo rising, and when I tell you, I immediately felt Mars go into Leo because I was dyeing hair bundles for the last 2 days straight. So you got to get that hair right, for the summer. Here's the thing. It is going through your first house. So Mars and Leo, Mars will be in Leo from May 20th to July 10th. It's transiting to through your, holy moly. It's going through your first house of who you are out in the world, how you like to be seen out in the world. It's you, okay? So when we think about the first house, think of how you're showing up everywhere and how people kind of perceive you, okay? And so this transit is really, I hope this does, I'm gonna say this. This transit could fuel your self-confidence, your courage, your personal drive, whatever that looks like. It becoming your most authentic self, maybe a new hairdo, maybe a new clothing vibe, maybe hitting your personal goals. So whatever those goals, they could be career goals, body goals, whatever goals you have, really giving you the courage and the boldness to really start moving forward in that. You'll feel very empowered. You are really going to be wanting to be your most authentic self. However, and later in June, there's going to be a square to Uranus in your 10th house. And so here's the thing. We've been going through this. All these things, like, this is nothing new to a Leo rising. We've been battling Uranus in our 10th house for a very long time. So it's just really going to remind you to not go completely over the top when you are exerting who you are, right? Because it might rub people the wrong way. And I'm never going to be a one to say dim your light. But there's a way to be you and also not make people feel like crap, right? So let's just be, especially in the workplace, because it's squaring things in your 10th house. So you can feel like you are the best thing since sliced bread in your career zone, which you probably are. You probably have it down packed. You're probably pretty great. But that doesn't mean to make everybody else feel super small, right? So just be mindful when maybe something happens at work where somebody tries to like check you or tell you that, like, I don't know, something that just rubs you the wrong way. Don't go all the way off on them, okay? Because, we still like money. So just be mindful of that, all right? Let's pull a card for you, Leo rising. It's going to be a good summer. Venus is going to head into Leo June 5th. So Mars and his lover will be together in your first house. You're going to look like, I don't know, everybody gonna want a piece of you. Everybody. I love that for us. Let's pull a card. I love this even more for us, right? We get our own card because this is really your time to shine. And I know Leo risings have been going through it, right? Just with that full moon and Scorpio eclipse, Pluto now in your 7th house. There's just so much change and transition going on that can have you, and this is me speaking from experience, but also just the astrology too. It can have you feel like you want to retreat, not just stay away. Like, it was a lot, okay? This is about putting your best foot forward, getting the strength to be your best self, knowing that you've done the work to heal, to change, to do whatever you've been working on, and now you need to step out into your full power, okay? Know that the cards are with you. That's so great. Yay. I hope this was helpful. Hi, Virgo risings. It's your girl, Intuitively D, and this is your Mars and Leo transit video. Mars entered the sign of Leo May 20th, and it will stay there until July 10th. This is in your 12th house, that house of, like, the subconscious, of dreams, like you're dreaming, the dream world. Also the house of karmic endings. It's just the house. It's the house. And so with Mars and Leo transiting the 12th house, your energy levels and motivation in your subconscious and spiritual pursuits are going to be even more like energized, right? So if you've been feeling very ho-hum about like how to heal these deep wounds that you've been trying to get over, and you're just like, I just don't even want to touch it. I don't even want to look at it, right? This is the time where you're like, okay, this has been happening. I need to address it, and you can address it fully, right? You can find the therapist, you can find the yoga practice, you can find the healer, you can find the journal, you can start really going after those things that you've been trying to deal with that are in your subconscious, that have been that dream state, like it's been busy, right? So if you've also been looking for like, excuse me, like spiritual pursuits, whether that be, I don't know, like Christianity, Buddhism, whatever you're into, this might be a time to start looking into those things to help you heal, right? But this is really just going to be a super duper powerful time for you to connect with your inner self and engage in self-reflection and self-awareness. I know that for Virgos, the Mercury retrograde was very, very difficult. So this is now time to really like take a look at all the things that you learned and probably reviewed during that time and be like, all right, this is, especially in the 9th house. So like really like, oh, I don't know if I want to travel to this place. I don't know if I want to take this course again. But so like really just figuring yourself out. This is a good time to really engage in figuring yourself out. So when by the time like for real summer happens, you're good to go. By the time Venus enters your 12th house, it'll be sweet and sexy. This also might lead to some like maybe restless sleep energy, right? So like Mars is busy. Leo is kind of busy. So if you're having trouble sleeping, take baths, move that body. So really like, I don't want to say aggressively move your body before bed, but, or aggressively move your body before bed. Or just do something. I mean, it's Mars and Leo, so maybe aggressively move your body in bed, but you just want to move that body so you can just feel a little more tired when it's time to go to sleep, because all this stuff for you is happening in the mind. And so it might keep you a little bit restless. I don't know if I mentioned it, but there's later in June, there's going to be Mars is going to square Uranus in your 9th. So just, you know, we love to like have the trip all planned. We love to know what course we're taking next. We love all that, but sometimes we can be perfectionist, and that'll drive us even more crazy. So try not to be perfectionist in what you're doing to help 12th house and 9th house things. All right, let's pull a card for you. Okay, well, clearly you want to be the one. Knight of Cups in reverse. So Knight of Cups in reverse, there's like a little glare. Knight of Cups in reverse to me is maybe you're not getting the emotional support you need. Maybe you've tried to talk to somebody about your emotional healing. Could be a family member, like a female family member, or maybe just being like, hey, this has been going on. And they don't support you in the way that you needed to be supported. Maybe they give you some superficial words that really don't mean anything. And so you're just like, damn, that's messed up. Like, I came to you. You're like a person that's super close, and you can't even support me when I'm going through it. So this is the card that I get for that. And I feel like this is not going to be, you are going to have to do the work, and then you're going to have to figure out who are the people you can really lean on, who are the people that you can really who can support you. And it might not be a person that you know. You might have to pay somebody. Therapy, you know, or astrologer, somebody, life coach. You might have to pay somebody to work through the things that you're trying to work through, especially when it comes to your emotions, because it's 12th house things. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Hi Libra Risings, it's your girl Intuitively D, and I am here with your Mars and Leo transit video. This is happening in your 11th house, the 11th house of friends, hopes, wishes, and dreams, the house of networking and social media sometimes. And this is kind of nice, kind of like that for you. So this is, and then Venus is gonna get there. Yeah, this is kind of a nice transit, honestly, in the 11th house. So during this transit, your personal relationships, especially your friendships and social connections are energized, right? You want to hang out with your friends more. You want to connect with people more. This can be like networking, people that you are in the same field as you, or people that can help, like friends that can help you network. I mean, it's just a good time to put yourself out there and really show what you got. You're going to feel really like assertive and passionate. So maybe you're not inviting, but you're inviting people to things. You're creating networking events. Like, it's just a good time to go out and have a good time, okay, with people that you like. Later in June, there's going to be a square to Uranus in your 8th house. Uranus has been in your 8th house for quite a long time, so you're accustomed to this energy. But there can be, don't be like the thing that might happen is you make some impulsive decisions in your friend groups and social interactions, especially when I'm saying don't mix business with pleasure later in June. Make sure there's clear-cut boundaries of people you have a good time with and people that you do business with, and that they don't, because you might say some stuff, they might say some stuff, and then it's not great. So yeah, make sure you're not mixing business or pleasure or bridging the relationships between, like, I want to say friends and lovers, but it's cool when friends become lovers, but like you need to be very mindful of how that, I would say, like business partnerships, if you're in like you're sharing finances, like a business partnership, 8th house, and y'all are like doing networking events, 11th house, going out together, having a good time, and you're like, ooh, maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. I would just say, like, hey, have some very thought out conversations around that, because you don't want to ruin a good thing, okay? So let's pull a card for you, Libra rising. All in all, like, super fun. Super fun. Y'all flirty and shit, so it'll be a good time. The sun, Mars in Leo with the sun. You know, the sun rules Leo. You know, there's just going to be a light shown in your friendship sector and networking sector. And I really can see this when Venus gets on the scene and enters your 11th house too. You are going to really be standing out in your friendships, social settings, networking settings. Just be ready. Just be ready. I don't know how else to put it. Don't be foolish. Don't flirt your way into something that you don't want to flirt, because the spotlight's going to be on you. So don't do your flirty. Look, I'm a Libra moon, so I know how you can chat with somebody and not even be flirting, and then they're like, you weren't flirting with me? You're like, no, I was just talking to you. Okay, so just make sure, because it's really going to shine a light on how great you are in social interactions, how great you are in friendships. And so just really like be mindful of how you're carrying yourself, if that makes sense. But have a good time. Hi, Scorpio risings. It is Intuitively D, and this is your Mars and Leo transit video. Here we go. So I know you've been going through it. We all know, right? Leos and Scorpios, I think, have been going through it the most. I'm saying that as a Leo rising. But you know what? This is a very good transit for you. It's going through your 10th house. Like, girl, just spit it out. Where is it going? It's transiting through your 10th house, that house of career, longevity, your reputation, your social standing in the world. And Mars and Leo is really going to inspire you to assert yourself and pursue your passions with intensity. Like, have a good time. Have a good time. It's about really showing up and not being like overly aggressive, but it is really start showing up and showing out in the workforce, in your career, and your drive for success is just really going to be on the forefront. And I love that for you. I love that for you. Just keep going. If you've been feeling like it's time to update that resume, apply to that new job, have a conversation about like moving up the ladder, it's time for all of that right now. The stars are with you on it. If we talk about what's happening later, especially when Venus enters Leo also in your 10th house, it's chef's kiss this summer for you. So later in June, though, Mars in Leo is going to square Uranus and Taurus, which has been in your 7th house. You know, that whole, like, the relationship has just been like, oh God, it's just been driving you crazy. It's been up and down in your relationship sector. So yeah, what could possibly happen is you getting so many accolades, your drive for success affects your relationship. So just be mindful. You could be taking on more hours. You can get a promotion that sends you somewhere else, and your lovey-dovey is like, oh, I don't know if I want to move with you, or I don't know if I want to do long distance relationships, something like that. Or I feel like you're not spending enough time with me because like you're the star of your show in your career right now. So just give a heads up. Just giving you a heads up. So just make sure what you're doing is sustainable. And if you really love that relationship that you're in, make sure you're fostering that too. Let's pull a card for you. Scorpio, you know, the South Node is going to get out of your 1st house, and the North Node is going to get out of your 7th this summer. Excuse me. So hopefully you've learned the lessons. I know it's been wonky and wild, but everything is on the up and up, yeah? 2 of Pentacles. Excuse me. This cough is wild. It's an allergy cough. So 2 of Pentacles is earth energy, and it's about balance, right? She's there. She's like, should I do this or should I do that? And that's really what's going to happen during this transit. It's really going to have you balance your work life and your relationship life. And what is more, not even what is more important to you. Because I think you can find a way to balance both. So if you come into a situation where you're leaning heavy in the career, leaning heavy in the relationship, and it's taking away from the career, right? Like either way, know that at any time you can balance. I think I probably said this before I even pulled the card, that you can balance those two so all is well and you're successful in both. Because really, Leo just wants to be successful in both and really be able to show people how successful they are in doing the things that they do. So yeah, there is going to be a situation where you're going to have to figure out how you're going to balance these two, but you're a Scorpio, you'll figure it out. I hope this was helpful. Hi, Sag Risings. It's your girl, Intuitively D, and this is your Mars in Leo transit video, and I hope all is well. Mars is transiting through your 9th house from May 20th, so it already started. Today is May 23rd, and it's going to be there until July 10th. And like I said, it's in your 9th house of higher education, faith, foreign and abroad travel, and philosophical pursuits, right? So that's like faith. And this is like such a great time to really like go after it. Go after your higher education goals. Go after your philosophical pursuits. So if you're like wanting to do like a yoga teacher training, or you're diving deeply into Buddhism or Christianity or whatever thing that you are diving deeply into, it's a really good time to dive deeply into that and be kind of aggressive about it. Like, go after it. If you've been wanting to travel, this is a perfect time to, you might not be able to do long distance travel, like especially overseas travel, but if you can, this is a great time to do it. if you can't, this is a great time to plan to do it, maybe for the fall or for the winter, okay? So really look at, I'm not even going to plug any websites because I don't get paid for any of this. But there are websites out there that I know y'all all know how to like find flights and stuff like that. So it's a very good time to really start thinking about like, no, I want to go this. Like, I do want to go there. So it's a good time to travel or book your travel. But this is far and away travel, okay? The sky's the limit. Horizon, like, I mean, you're just trying to really expand. This is a great opportunity for expansion. The last couple of weeks, or in the last, I'm not sure exactly what day, I don't even want to give the day, but at the end of June, there's going to be a square to Taurus, to Uranus and Taurus in your 6th house, that house of, you know, co-workers, your daily schedule, your health, wellness routines. And you want to make sure that your daily schedule, like when you book these trips where you're doing these, you're like aggressively pursuing higher education and new knowledge, that it's fitting seamlessly into your schedule, that you're not overworking, overburdening yourself in your daily schedule. Okay, you probably also really want to make sure that it's not going to interfere with your coworkers or authoritative figures. Like, you want to get the go ahead, like, yeah, you got this PTO, or maybe you're your own boss. You want to make sure your clients are all squared away before you take this trip or you start adding new things to your schedule. Okay, I hope that it's helpful. Let's pull a card for you, Sag Risings. It's so funny. I have this really not so great cough from, I think it's just like postnasal drip, because I've taken 3 COVID tests in the last 5 days and they're all negative, and I actually haven't been around anybody that's had COVID. But there's some signs I could get through without coughing at all. And like you, I don't think I've coughed at all. And then there's some signs that I just like hack up a whole lung. It's like so terrible. All right, let's pull it. Let's see. 4 of Swords. Okay. So, like I was saying, there is going to be this 4 of Swords is like relaxation, like rest, rejuvenation, relaxation. Maybe for the last 4 weeks, maybe 4 weeks from now. 4 weeks ago, 4 days from now, 4 days ago. But really, actually, it's like 4 weeks from now. There is going to be this moment of like, you've been going, you've like booked the course, you've booked the trip, you've done all these things, like everything is looking up and up, and then you're like, oh my God, I didn't look at my schedule. Like, now I have to, and you're just like, I'm so tired. I just need to, let me take a step back. Okay. This is, do not overdo it. Okay. Don't like overbook yourself for the things that you want to do, because you're so excited and that you now have this energy and you have this want and you have these goals in this area of your life, that you make your daily schedule so busy that it makes you sick and you have to rest. Okay? So let's just make sure that we're doing things slow, like just don't overburden yourself, okay? Because we don't want this like, oh my God, I can't move off this couch, I can't move off this bed energy. We want to do things efficiently and effectively. I hope this was helpful. Hi, Capricorn Risings. It's your girl, Intuitively D, and this is your Mars and Leo. This is your Mars and Leo transit video. This is happening in your 8th house. So sexy, so steamy. And I know how I'm not even gonna get into it because I'm a Capricorn sun and people think Capricorns aren't sexy and steamy, but come on now. All right, so Mars and Leo is just gonna give you this energy to really be intimate, to really take a hold of your shared finances and really be like, is this what we doing with our money? This is how we need to look at our money. Let's have a conversation. This is the energy to transform, to really be like, okay, I like the way our intimate connection is, but I think if we add a little spice, it can get a little bit deeper, a little bit better. This is also the same thing for transforming shared finances. So this is not just for intimacy, but this is like transformation for you. Like, what do you want to see? What do you want to get out of it? And being very like selfish, but also your selfishness will in fact benefit everybody that's involved. Okay, so I love this for Capricorn risings. I think like Capricorns, you know, people say like they're super selfish, but like, are they though? They're not. They're just trying to get shit done. This is more of like fun selfishness, like a good time selfishness, not necessarily stepping on people and being like, you know, rude and ridiculous. This is fun selfishness, especially in the 8th house. So yay, yummy. If your finances are great. If you've been on the fence about like asking for the grant or applying for the loan, this is a really good time to do both. Just be very bold and courageous with it. Later in June, there's going to be a square to Uranus and Taurus in your 5th house. You know, that 5th house of like romance, dating, creative expression, and children. And so what this is telling me is like, while you have this energy to really assert yourself in having fun in your pleasures, intimate pleasures, and really transforming how that means and that looks to you, it might rub people the wrong way. Like, I don't know if I'm with that. So there is this idea of finding balance in your relationships and those shared endeavors. Okay, so yeah, don't go so crazy over the top that people look at you like, what the hell is going on? But don't let this energy, don't let it, what's the phrase? Oh my God, my brain. Use it or lose it. Use this energy because it's a good time energy, okay? Don't let it go to waste. Don't let this Mars and Leo in your 8th house go to waste. That's it. That's it. It could be so fun. Speaking as a Mars and Leo natally, Mars and Leo is always a good turn. All right, let's pull it. Capricorn rising. I'm going to cover it because I don't want to get blocked out, but it's the World card, right? So I'm just going to do like that and like that. It's the World card. It's the card of like, you can have it. You can have, I hate to say you can have it all, but you can have the things that you want without sacrificing fun and pleasure. Okay? Do not sacrifice fun and pleasure. The World card means you need a little bit of fire, a little bit of groundedness, a little bit of communication, and a little bit of like flexibility, water, movement to feel whole and feel like you can have the best time. And she, you know, the infinity symbol is above her head as she's floating nude. And it's about, there's endless opportunities. There's endless opportunities for us to have really good times with people, share our intimate desires with the people that we feel comfortable doing that with. And it's a flowy type of energy. And I know sometimes Capricorns, like, it's the highway, it's my way or the highway, but like Mars and Leo is about having a good time and being bold and courageous, and sometimes being like a little bit foolish. And Capricorns hate to look foolish, but this energy is like, go out, take that step, have a good time, because like the world is at your feet. You will, like, it will be brought to you. Okay, I hope this was super helpful. I'll see you next time. Hi, Aquarius rising. It is your girl, Intuitively D. How are ya? This is your Mars in Leo transit video with a little tarot pull at the end. So Aquarians, good Lord. Mars in Leo, good griefuses, is going through your 7th house of relationships, marriage, contractual partnerships. And you might feel the sudden urge and assertiveness in your partnerships and one-on-one relationships. So like, you know what? Telling your honey, like, hey, I don't like this, or hey, I really like this, right? It's about really having this boldness and this communication with people you are contracted to. Marriage more than anything, but also if you have business partnerships, this could be conversations around making sure that you are able to show up fully as yourself in those partnerships. This is also in your marriage. If you feel like your light has been getting dimmed, this is now time to be like, I don't like the way that you've been dimming my light. I am going to shine and shine very brightly. So your individuality and your unique qualities are just really going to shine with these connections. So, you know, Aquarians have it, I would say, Aquarians like to disconnect from things that don't serve them, right? And what I would say is, if you are like trying to think like, oh, I don't know if I want this and I'm gonna pull back, I would really ask you, why are you pulling back? Like, why are you doing that? Do you need to lean more in? Are you feeling like a little uncomfortable because all the spotlight is on you? Like, yeah, like it is going to be, and have a good time with it. There's going to be a square to Uranus in Taurus in your 4th house, that house of home and family. And it's really going to have you being like, okay, maybe the people in your family are driving you bonkers and they're like saying shit about your relation, like your marriage or something like that. And you're just like, nah, I don't like that. Like, don't do that. Or this could be like the home that you and your partner live in, something might happen and you're like, okay, well, we didn't qualify for that place. So like, let's just keep looking, right? It's that kind of thing. But like I said, communicate, let your uniqueness, be put on the forefront and be a positive instead of a negative. And yeah, I hope you have a good time with this in the 7th house. Let's pull a card. Excuse me. 5 of Pentacles. All right, 5 of Pentacles with Mars and Leo going through your 7th house. So, 2 people on here. So maybe y'all haven't been seeing eye to eye for, I don't know, 5 years, 5 months, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 hours. And you're just like, I don't know if I even want to continue in this marriage or this business relationship I have. Mars and Leo is going to be like, yay or nay. And it's going to have you say the things. You are not going to be able to be like, oh, I can put up with it for like a little bit more. I'll just keep quiet. Mars and Leo is going to be like, I don't like that. Don't say that to me. Don't treat me this way. Let's have a conversation about this. Do you want it or not? Okay, so, because, you know, Mars and Leo can be kind of combative and very assertive. So, yeah, just make sure that you're mindful of how you're going to say the things to the people. But yeah, there is this feeling. And just like all the other fixed signs, things have changed so much for us in the last 3 years that like, maybe this relationship is no longer what you thought it was going to be. Maybe it is one of these things where you're like, you feel out in the cold, even though there's 5 pentacles, you're like, where are all the other pentacles? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just not enough. Like, it's just, the status quo in your relationship is just no longer enough. And Mars and Leo is going to be like, literally put that in your face. Like, show it's not enough. And you're going to have to figure out what to do with that. All right. Hopefully this was helpful. Hi, Pisces rising. It's your girl, Intuitively D. And this is your Mars and Leo transit video. This is going through your 6th house. You know, the 6th house of wellness, your daily schedule. Okay, there's this hummingbird. Sorry. That is like, I have a hummingbird feeder right outside my front door, and like they just come and hang out and drink water, sugar water. And this hummingbird for the like last hour cannot figure out how to get to my hummingbird feeder. Like, it's just flying to my window, flying to this other thing. It's just really, you know, I love hummingbirds. Good luck. All right. Sorry. So Mars in Leo is transiting your 6th house. That 6th house is the house of work, like your your co-workers and your everyday work. It's your daily schedule. It's your health and wellness routines. So basically it's you. It's everything you're doing throughout the day, but also with the added caveat of like, it also includes your pets and health and wellness, especially mental health. I like to address that more than the physical health. So let's be mindful of mental health also. And with Mars and Leo, it's going to have you feeling very motivated to take charge and create a daily schedule that is really beneficial to you, that really works out for you, that helps you be very productive, and productive in any way, productive in your work life, productive with your health and fitness routines, productive in your mental health routines, right? So it's really giving you this opportunity and this energy to really try to get it together. And yeah, I hope you take this opportunity to get it together. All right. Let's see. There is going to be in June, there is going to be a square to Uranus in Taurus in your third house. Uranus and Taurus has been in your third house for a very long time. And what it's going to suggest when they meet up is a need for flexibility in your everyday life. So maybe you're like, okay, this next 4 weeks, you have this perfect routine. You wake up, you meditate a little bit, you go to work, after work, you hit the gym or you do yoga or whatever. You are working this new daily schedule. And then Mars squares Uranus, and it's like you get sick or somebody is like somebody calls you and it's like, hey, can you work overtime? Can you go with me and do this thing with me or something like that? And you're just going to be like, dang it. But you're going to do it because, you know, it's going to be somebody that like, it's not going to be a stranger. It's going to be somebody you're like, all right, I will. Just be flexible. All right, let's pull a card. I hope that was helpful. Let's pull a card for you. I didn't say anything bad about y'all this time around. I'm improving. I'm improving. Let's see Pisces rising. Let's do one more. No. Let's do that one. Yeah. Two of Wands. Fiery energy. Wands are fire. Two. So really take this next couple of weeks to really envision and see how you want your daily schedule. Who do you need to communicate with as a cell phone? It's really funny that there's a cell phone there because cell phones fall in the third house and there's going to be that square there. But this is more like, okay, I think I see what I want to do. I see how I want to achieve it. I think this is how, right? And so like take some time, 2 days, take a couple of hours, maybe write out a new workout routine, maybe take a couple of hours and do your meal planning, whatever you need to do to really energize this area of your life, and then set that plan into motion. Okay, set it in motion. You got this. I hope this was helpful. See you next time.